Whoa, what's going on here? Hello, and welcome to another One Line of Code. I am One Lion. I have a main, and my main is going crazy right now. Jiminy Christmas. Anyway, hi. This is the first time I'm actually seeing myself, and it's not going to be for long because we're heading to the desktop. Welcome in. Hello, welcome to another One Line of Code. I am One Lion, and today is Friday Day. And on Friday days on our channel, we have a thing I like to call Community Day, which is a day when I focus on chat and whatever topics you guys want to bring up that are relevant to this stream's content. I will be opening up the stream voice channel momentarily once I get everything started. Start virtual camera, turn on my camera. So the way that works is if you are interested in using your voice to communicate on stream and your voice will travel through on stream, join Discord and hop into any of the voice channels and then type !waiting in chat. And that will let me know that you are in a voice channel waiting to be pulled into the one where you can actually be heard on stream. Tasty. I am having an extra cup of coffee today because reasons. Yeah, what else? Oh yeah, when you do go into the Discord channel, then I would ask that you mute the stream so that we don't hear echoes. And you can hear all of the stream except for, or you can hear my voice and other people's voices in Discord. And I am sharing my OBS virtual camera, which makes it look like what the stream looks like. You just won't be able to hear any of the sound alerts or anything. Maybe one day I'll find out how to get those sounds to come through on the Discords. But for now, that's what we got. Yes, I don't feel completely prepared, but I'm rolling with it. I have visitors coming today, and they're going to be here in around 6 hours, I would guess. So I've been cleaning up the house as well as trying to get the project done that the effort done for the project I'm working on. And that's been very stressful and hard for me to do. So I'm actually more tempted, not even tempted. I'm actually preferring, peopling twice in a day. You're going to be tired, and they're going to be here all weekend because tomorrow my brother is getting married, and he decided to have his wedding here in Denver. So we're going to go to that as well. So it's going to be people all weekend. So don't be surprised if I look drained on Monday, or if I even cancel the stream on Monday. Who knows how it's going to go. Anyway, I am wanting to continue with the work product since my brain has been so all over the place and I haven't been able to focus on what I've been doing. But again, it's Community Day, and I will definitely pay attention to chat first, answer any questions. Again, the Discord voice channels are open if you do have things you want to discuss verbally. You don't have to use Discord. You don't have to use the voice channel if you have things you want to discuss. You can definitely just bring topics up in chat and we'll talk about them. But let me greet everyone. Dukesoft is here, and you were first. Good timing right when I'm saying I'm a lot. Jamie says, good timing right when I open the app. Welcome back to the stream, he says to me, or they say to me. Thank you. I wasn't aware that the stream went anywhere, or that I went anywhere in the stream. Anyway, thank you. Broken Sword is here. I could have soared. I was subbed to this. Oh man, trickster energy all over the place today. And then TBD, fantastic TBD, amazing TBD, friendly TBD, wonderful TBD. If you don't know TBD Gamer, check out his streams. I'll talk about it in a minute. Resubbed for 8 months straight. Oh, thank you so very much for that resub. Blushing TBD. Fantastic stream this morning. You were making some really good progress on Liquid Sky. So Liquid Sky is an application that is used, that is being developed for project management and planning, or planning and management, whichever direction you want to go. I have a little blurb for it that I just wrote this morning during his stream. I just got to find the blurb. I'm going to open Thyrovius. So let's go to super secret screen so that I can open Thyrovius safely. Any of you guys play Magic the Gathering? I used to. I still have most of my decks. I'm pretty sure that I am lacking. Nope, I wouldn't be able to tell you which element I'm lacking. I thought I knew. Probably light. Yeah. Of course, I always played. I don't even know what they're called anymore. The last time I played was maybe, like, played against friends was about 30 years ago. 20 years ago. 20, anywhere between 20 and 30 years ago. I would have been in middle school. The thing that I'm trying to open is this, so that I can get this blurb for Liquid Sky. Copy. Pasta. So here's some information about Liquid Sky. Like I said, it is a project management and planning application along the lines of Jira and Azure DevOps, except organized better. You can close that, Thyrovius. I think it's going to have some much better organization for how projects are displayed and worked with to project managers, stakeholders, developers. It just sounds like he's got a lot of good ideas going on. And hello, Big Gamey! Yeah, so they used to be, like, old cards used to be worth a lot 20, 30 years ago. And so I'm assuming that old cards are still going to be worth a lot more. Is it working? I didn't think so. Man, there were some issues getting connected to the bot this morning. Interact. No, first refresh. Refresh. Then interact. Make sure that the page isn't broken. The page is not broken. Dark mode. Okay. I might just have to reconnect the bot again one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Services. Stop. No bot. I ain't got no bot. Wait, why does it say that I'm not? Oh, man. So what I think is happening is that it wasn't actually connected to PubSub. It was only connected to Twitch chat. Which is really weird because I saw it connect to PubSub. Test failed. Gosh. All feedback and opinions are welcome on Liquid Sky, TBD says. His streams are Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, which is UTC -4 currently. Hello, Mojo. What's going on with Twitch PubSub? We might not be able to have the archery game because I can't get connected to Twitch PubSub. I can't. Oh my gosh. Everything is Baroque. Everything is mosaic. Shout out for Mojo. He streams when he can. He's also working on part of Liquid Sky now. When he does stream, he streams whatever he wants, of course. I mean, I encourage any of you who do want to get better at what you do, try streaming. We have a great community that is quite helpful, quite trolly, but quite helpful. And also very, very encouraging. The pub is probably full. It is Friday. You aren't wrong. Almost whatever. I'd love to stream work content. Well, when I say whatever, it means that it is varied. It's not necessarily the same thing every time. It is along the lines of .NET development and his learning, but just software development. I'm sure you could stream other things if you felt like it. There we go. That connected to PubSub. Now what about chat? That connected to chat. Now can you hear redemptions? It doesn't. Yes, it heard the redemption. Oh, but the bot needs to be restarted, or the archery page needs to be restarted. Oh. Yes. Fixed. Okay. Archery game is going to be on for the next 2 hours at minimum, unless something else breaks the Twitch connection. Shoot. 45-24. Oh, come on, big gamey shot. So I'm calling big gamey shots the ones where you go at a nice high angle and then it hits on the first try, because he's just leap like that. 44 point. Nope, that's gonna make it go further. 45-23.4. Oh, I'll get my shots done so you can show us how it's done. 0.6. Okay, look, your turn is coming up. To shoot, place the crosshair on the target and type shoot. What in the world are you talking about, automated roams? You come up with some of the craziest things. So anyway, again, today's community day. The Discord server is now open. If you're interested in using your voice, hop into a voice channel, type !waiting in chat, and I will know that you are in a waiting room. Tasty. Nice. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say nice until we actually see the arrow hit the target. Are you still not telling me what the additional points are based? You know what? I think I know what's going on with the points not giving us any bonuses. The calculation for it. Oops. I hope I didn't break anything. The calculation for it is not, or it's dividing the total number of seconds by 3, and I think that is always giving us a less than 1 number. Is like, or at most. What am I coding? Hi, Abdal. So today's community day, I'm not really coding too much. What I normally do on community days is stream work on the bot. I hardly ever get anything done on the bot remake. What is up with this really, really long message that the bot spit at you? Oh, it's telling you a story. I'll read the story of Big Gamey after I finish talking with Abdal. Normally what I do on stream is my work product, and I might be doing a little bit of that today during the stream, during community day as well, but I do want to make sure that I'm paying more attention to you guys than I am the project itself. But I'm feeling very behind, and starting yesterday, actually starting Wednesday. Did we end the stream on time on Wednesday? Did we end the stream at 1:30 or 3:30? I can't remember. But starting sometime between the end of the stream on Wednesday and today, I started remaking the library because I did want it to be, here's the output object type, here are the fields for that output object type, and then here are the fields that you can choose from based off of the file that's getting read. And that's because I'm writing a data file utility for the place that I work at. They're getting a whole bunch of Excel workbooks and CSVs from different places that are structured differently. They're at least formatted where the first row is always going to be the header and any row after is going to have data. I was about to say data. I'm going to go back and forth. I'm just going to slip every time. And so they needed a way to be able to map a workbook that they get sent, a spreadsheet, a CSV file, to a database record or set of records out in the end. Command manager, is it you? Game? Big Gamey! Yes. Where is the archery? Oh, it's on the game page. What am I thinking? Okay, so the calculation of the score is 33% of the time in seconds. And we don't want that. How about 33% of the time in milliseconds? What is that? Actually, I need to think about this. If it's in the air for 3,000 seconds, let's say like the longest time it's going to be in the air is 3,000 seconds or 3,000 milliseconds. Then if we divide that by 100, that'll give us 30, and divide that by 3, and that'll give us 10. 10 points sounds reasonable. So wait, that is what I'm doing. We're essentially dividing by 100 and then by 30. Oh, that's why, by 3. Okay. So we're going to divide it by 300 in the end. So, which is going to be, add a bonus of runtime millis divided by 300. Okay, I'll put that, I will rebuild this, republish it, and then restart the bot in a second so that we can actually start getting some bonus points based off of airtime. But for now, Automated Realms gave us a story about the archer called Big Gamey. So Automated Realms is my bot. It's connected to an LLM that's running locally on another computer over there. And yeah, the end. So this is the story that the bot came up with. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a young archer named Bit Gamey. Bit Gamey was known for her incredible aim and her unwavering determination. I really need to tell this thing to use non-gender specific, non-specific gender neutral pronouns. That's what I'm trying to say. One day, although this story can be about a Bit Gamey called she, or a Bit Gamey whose pronouns are she. Anyway, it's a story. Dang it. One day she received a mysterious letter that read, "Come to the enchanted forest and prove your worth." Bit Gamey, without hesitation, set off on her journey to the enchanted forest. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered many challenges. Wild beasts, treacherous paths, and magical creatures all tried to hinder her. Oh, I totally skipped that punctuation. She encountered many challenges. Wild beasts, treacherous paths, and magical creatures all tried to hinder her progress. But Bit Gamey was not one to be deterred. She used her wit, her skill with the bow, and her undying spirit to overcome each obstacle. Finally, she arrived at the heart of the enchanted forest. Enchanted Valley? You went to the Enchanted Valley? I hope you didn't run into too many fairies. Finally, she arrived at the heart of the enchanted forest, where she found the wise and ancient sage who was guarding the secret treasure. Look at that, another hit. Dag. The sage, seeing the courage and determination in Big Amy's eyes, knew she was the one destined to claim the treasure. He revealed to her that the treasure was not gold, nor jewels, but the knowledge of the ancient art of archery. Big Gamey graciously accepted the sage's gift and returned to her village, where she shared her newfound wisdom with her fellow villagers. Together, they formed a legendary archery guild, and for generations, the people of the village lived in peace and prosperity, thanks to the amazing archer Big Gamey. And they all lived happily ever after. And so the tale of the amazing archer Big Gamey has come to a close. Do you think C# is live or dead? Doesn't matter. I use it. Many people that I know use it, regardless of whether it's on its way out or not. It's the technology that I'm using. So I'm not too concerned about that. I don't have any real thoughts or opinions on it. But if you do, please share. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just saying I don't. So feel free to share your thoughts and opinions on it. And hello, Captain. Hi, Captain. Captain Chica. Peace and prosperity with archery. Was Big Gamey actually Robin Hood? Maybe. There's a really good story of Robin Hood as a female. It's pretty cool. Maths. Oh god. TBD says C# is very much alive. Are you seeing otherwise? Hello, Scott. Big Amy just smiled at the story. And Automated Realms responded with, hey, Big Amy, your shot went way under the target. Unfortunately, scoring is 0 in this round. Keep practicing and good luck next time. But he hit the target. He hit the target. What do you mean 0? Yeah, why would it be dead? Asked Dukasoft. Her journey. It's a story. Don't get offended. True Dukasoft. Thank you. Why do you misgender me? Oops, my apologies, Big Gamey. I didn't realize the misgendering occurred. I will make sure to correct that in the future. Will you, though? You're going to forget everything if I restart the server or... with the writer license change, I think we'll see more people try .NET. Interesting. So you think there are enough people that use only writer and that the blocker is Visual Studio? Or even VS Code? That's interesting. I don't know when I was here last, but I remember that you agreed with why people should use tabs over spaces. Yeah, exactly. So I did agree with that. I don't do it myself. I still prefer spaces instead of tabs just because I navigate easier when I have spaces and I'm able to control the actual white space on my screen for my projects that really I'm the only one that uses. But definitely having one character represent as many spaces as you want, as much white space as you want, based on your IDE settings is really cool. I like that. Fewer potential changes that would happen in a version controlled repository. That's cool. I like Git change leading spaces to tabs for me. Awesome. Max in Visual Studio. Yeah. So yeah, plenty of Mac users that would want to do, or that might have chosen not to do .NET because they struggle with when Visual Studio was available for Mac, and now they've gotten rid of that. But also use Writer with Visual Studio. Use Writer with .NET. TBD says peace and prosperity with archery. Oh, I already read that. I'm reading it again because I can. Peace and prosperity with archery was Big Gamey actually Robin Hood. VS Code has done a really great job of making it accessible. I agree. But again, there are so many people that are like, if you're using anything other than Writer, you're doing it wrong. And I don't understand that really. It's like, use the IDE that you're able to be most productive. I don't judge Writer one way or the other because I haven't used it. And I don't plan on it because I am doing everything that I have, all of the tools that I need to my knowledge in Visual Studio. Hello, oh my gosh, I can read. Utkarsh. I hate Neovim, but I use VS Code. Also, wasn't Visual Studio just Xamarin Studio wrapper on Mac OS? I think so. That sounds right. I know that it was pretty much a cannibalized. I don't know if that's the right word in this situation. Cannibalized IDE compared to VS Code. Either Writer or full VS are miles ahead. And Ushkarg says, oh man, I said that backwards. Utkarshk. Because Neovim is difficult to configure. And again, if that is the editor of choice for a given person, and not just because, look at me, I'm a really elite programmer, but because they actually do have a workflow that works really well for them in that, more power to you. But to tell other people that they're noobs because they're using an IDE that has a whole bunch of UI stuff that makes things easier is kind of like, yeah, I'll let you have that judgment. It's fine. You're allowed. Sounds like a sad day. Oh, because of what TBD said. So Peter said in 2010, ReSharper was miles ahead. But Visual Studio has mostly caught up now. Compared to VS Code, either Writer or full VS are miles ahead. And then TBD responded to that saying, the .NET devs in our group just had their ReSharper license revoked so they could put the money elsewhere. Apparently VS isn't quite there just yet. Sad developer. So no. There was one more message up here that I'm missing. Utkarsh said, in VS Code, I just install extension and good to go. Yeah, it's so modular. That's what I do like about the concept that I like about VS Code the most, is that it's pretty modular. You just add whatever extension you want when you need it. But again, I don't really use VS Code. I don't use anything other than Visual Studio, maybe Notepad, maybe a napkin. I am pulling you into the room in 3, 2, 1. You can call me Karsh for simplicity. I'll try to remember that. Hello, Peter.
Good day.
Good day. Your volume is perfect.
But yeah, words. These are words. This is
You're good.
Hello, everybody. Let's take levels. So
you're tested.
Oh, so
notes is what I'm looking for. Karsh says we can just call him Karsh.
Oh, I'm reading all of Karsh. You started talking about the fact that you do use VS Code, but have tried Neovim. It's difficult to configure. I do agree the extensions in VS Code are amazing. And there is a level of productivity where being like having the delay on the UI and stuff like mentally affects you. I do believe that. I also believe that like I sit and stare at code 99.9% of the time. I could type half as fast. It wouldn't matter. Wouldn't make a difference.
So talk more about what you mean by the delay in the UI.
So a common thing you will hear, and this is also, I mean, I'm on Twitch, you're on Twitch. So a thing you'll hear is that, you know, these Vim, Neovim, they're more responsive, and man, are they, by the way. Wow. JetBrains is
they're
probably,
super lightweight, right?
They are so lightweight, but also like they're just designed honestly better, like in the sense that like they're designed for latency. Like, so responsiveness, that kind of stuff. Whereas for whatever reason, like Rider, which is written by a completely separate company, and Visual Studio, and even VS Code to a lesser extent, have big problems with like a system hanging. Like you will mentally, if you pay attention to yourself, you'll note yourself like waiting for a dialogue to appear. Whereas in like, Vim type systems, you can just start
Push a
typing
keystroke,
keyboard
see the thing at
keys
the bottom. Yeah.
and never delay. Like never think about waiting to type more. And it is faster at a certain point. I do think like I don't know. I think that's like a nice thing if you're actually really productive. I also agree that like if you're able to be you're able to be at a high level of productivity, aka type fast, then you'll be more willing to try out like more experiments. Whereas if it takes you 10 minutes to type out the code, you're going to be less likely to try 3 or 4 versions of that.
Right.
So there we go.
TBD is saying, but the mental delay of me figuring out what spell I need to cast to achieve things cost me way more.
Yeah.
And if I don't know the spell, cheat sheet lookup takes time as well. I mean, you do eventually get better at it, but because of the flow that, like for me personally, I've created with Visual Studio, I feel like it's pretty conducive to the way that I work.
I'm honestly the most surprised because I've started to use my iPhone's voice dictation. Like, please, set a timer, that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Hey Siri, buy a dollhouse, send. Anyway, whoever had it, is it Alexa? Alexa, buy a
Oh no,
dollhouse,
stop
send.
it. So mean.
Anyway, don't worry, it won't. They figured out, unless I'm like the best, they figured out how to stop that. But apparently that was a thing in the early days. Yeah. What were we even talking about? It was important that voice dictation. I think like if you just had a button, I talked about this when Marcus Voice Coder was here. Like if they just had a button, you would say press a button and like you say some words and then it executes the command closest to that. If it's close enough. Done. Like that would save me a ton of time. Like, you're looking at a markdown
I mean,
document
have you
and you press a
seen
button that what's up?
have you seen Marcus's workflow? Marcus Voice Coder.
Oh.
He uses Talon in Visual Studio.
But he also like okay, interesting. I will think about it like I I just you see what I'm saying. It's like just
Where are these all
please
this code?
markdown preview for this markdown file. Like I do that pretty regularly and I know that there's a hotkey that I've forgotten and then I do the command palette and I say show preview. I literally type those words because I don't want to find it. And like in the old days, you actually used to have to find it on the menu, like file menu, show preview. Anyway, there have been so many people talking and I've been filibustering.
There wasn't too much added. Karsh is saying NeoVim is also extremely customizable, but customization comes with trade-off. True. NeoVim requires Lua for configuration. TBD says, I say words, then I repeat the words, then I add words with profanity, and eventually the things understand me. Just give me the.
Yeah.
You don't want to know how much I swear at Alexa.
I remember an old quote about Dragon, naturally speaking. It was something about either you train voice recognition, or you train the computer, or the computer trains you.
Yeah.
The idea being like,
Yeah.
if you want good transcriptions, either it learns from you, or you're gonna have to learn how it works.
Yeah, that is so true, dude. You're showing the same screen on all of your. Oh, this was when he was having connection issues, I think. Give me one that's longer. Okay. AdultSwim.net programming. I need to hear the swear stream. You don't want to hear mine.
Do. There you go. There you go.
Mine gets quite okay. Okay, here. I have no idea how he navigates this, but all of these colors mean something.
Ooh.
And he'll say like a color and then the line or the line number and then the color, and then he's able to jump around super duper fast, replace words. It is 480.
I will say, I mean, clearly, like, accessibility is like giving people who can't type or basically can't type much the ability to do keyboard like things. But I need it for the other case, for the kind of the normies who just want voice commands.
Vim motions in VS Code as well. Yep, I've heard of that.
Yeah. Harsh, I'm a proud VS Code Vimmer. And you'll know that because I will tell you to never ever use the undo command in VS Code.
No.
Because
what does Control Z do?
Well, no, it's not. It's you. It is. If you undo, will undo up to all of your changes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
I remember that. And like yank and. Ooh.
You for undo should do one. Undo one command.
One keystroke.
And it just happens to. Yeah, whatever that is. There is a block, but like, I will do a bunch of editing, copy paste, and then press U once, and it will undo the entire chain or part of the chain. And I don't know where I was, and I'm like, well, we start.
And there is no redo.
Not on VS Code Vim isn't very trustworthy at that point. I think there's definitely a redo. But I don't know what it is. Anyway, you learn all these little things like Visual Studio's Vim, VS Vim is because I use it and try and integrate it with the system clipboard. Apparently, it has horrible lag problems. So that's something. I don't even know. JetBrains Vim has a lot of weird stuff, like they added keystrokes that weren't there in either of the other Vims. So the great thing about using a Vim plugin is you get toward Vim and the idiosyncrasies of whatever text editor is plugged in, and you get to memorize them. Oh.
You referred to each other by nicknames and had some fun discussions. I thought so. I need to stop the bot. And I still don't understand what this bug is when I split up the messages. It puts the last character of the last word sometimes, but not always.
To ask. I gotcha.
It's summarizing.
Maybe it spells it too.
Oh, with two O's.
Yeah. Maybe
just to be more
doesn't
human.
know it's yeah. What do we got?
TVD Gamer asking about archery. All right, I'm stopping the bot so it won't answer you for a minute, and it's going to lose all context.
More assistance. There we go.
Yep. That way you can look it up online. Because we don't need to print the internet.
What else do we got? I've got nothing. I might have to jump to a call. There's troubleshooting going on.
I have a lot of anxiety over the data file import utility.
Okay.
And it's all perceived. It's all like me putting it on myself.
We should clip that. I have a lot of anxiety about the data import utility. And just have that out of context. Flip it. and play it back sometime. It's an unusual statement. That's all I'm saying.
This is I don't know if it's oh well, I mean you're allowed to think it's cool. I just want you to know that it's a very simplistic approach. I just have TextGen Web UI running on another computer and I've loaded a model into it. And I've exposed the API endpoints locally, and that's it.
How have you looked into that? You're going to be my Google. You're my Chat GPT. How do you get local models running easily?
To one of the easiest ways that I've seen is using Llama 2. And I'll show you that real quick. But now there's the Azure AI Studio or something like that. That is also an easy way to do it. Llama 2.
Is it local?
Yeah. I mean, you can tell it to use local models. You aren't the one. Those are the models. Where is it called Llama 2?
It might have been. There was, I mean, if things move fast. Also, yeah, you're going to run the small ones, like the 7B parameters or even
Well,
smaller.
we're getting quantization that is getting better at being able to load these models. So it's not necessarily the number of parameters in the model, it's how well is it quantized so that it can be the smallest possible model, because the size of the model is the thing that determines how much gets loaded into your VRAM, and then that's what you start doing all the stuff on. But you could tell it to load a 70 billion parameter model that's like 200 gigabytes, and it'll just go really, really, really slow.
What about, good point. What about clapping? Because I can't. Do you run GPU or CPU?
I run GPU. I have a 40.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a 4090 in that computer.
Oh, well, well, well.
Well, well, well. It was expensive.
Yes, it was.
What is this thing called? LM Studio is one of them, but there's like this really easy one that's just a command line tool. You run it, you tell it what model you want it to use, and if you don't have it, it'll download the model and then open the API endpoint in command line. I can't remember what. It's super easy. LM Studio.
I'm just curious.
This one has a UI on it, but I think the more easy, lightweight way, Jan. I didn't.
They're all saying Olama.
Olama. Thank you. I'm
gonna call them CAPTCHA.
Oh, Llama. This I think has some kind of weird workaround for Windows. You can run it on Windows, but I think you need to run it on WSL. Maybe, unless they finally did officially release the Windows version. But the workaround used to be download the Linux version and run it on a WSL.
Okay.
But
hey,
yeah, if the Windows one works,
CAPTCHA, WSL is great. I'm an expert at WSL. Expert. Oh, that's fair. If you prefer, I assume you mean VMs or window managers. It actually could be either. Sorry. Olama. Interesting. Yeah. I'm just curious. I want to try out some of the new AI things. It's aspirational goals too. I aspire to get my head around some of the Anthropic new stuff, the agent stuff, and the new models, and see how it works. I'm told it's
Azure
really
AI
good.
Studio is free.
Okay.
And the first thing that it does is it tries to get you to connect to a paid subscription to GPT or the free GPT 3.5 Turbo. But you can configure it to connect to your local models. Use your local models.
And we got some pros in chat. Karsh says, I like coding more in Linux. More power
Cool.
to you. Enjoy. I, you know, corporate, like, I don't know what. Anyway, we're not allowed to run Linux. We have our security product with a version for Windows and a version for Mac. And that's what we're allowed to use. And if you want to do something else, you shall not, because you need to have the security product. All right, I'm gonna have to go AFK a second because this sounds crazy.
Sounds crazy.
Not you.
Okay.
What I'm reading in my corporate Slack sounds crazy.
Okay.
Right. You're right back.
I'll just be reading chat, most likely. So I'm gonna scroll all the way up here. Did I get reconnected? I got reconnected. We're going to actually try archery first. See if it's gonna tell us any bonus scores, but first I have to actually hit the target. First it's gotta actually run the archery game. Dagnabbit. Refresh. Do the thing. All right. Pew at 45.24. This seems to be a pretty good angle when it's all the way out there. Look at how close it gets with that. That's a big gamey number right there. He's the one that taught me this. I wrote the game, he mastered it. Oh my gosh. Hit target. Oh man, I missed. That was cheat. Somebody hit the target. Where were we? Okay, so TBD said I have anxiety today. I think my boss is expecting me to figure out how to fix 30 different processes by 4 p.m., aka 1600, or 16. How do your people that use the 24-hour clock say 4 p.m.? Because like military time, you say 1600. Do you still say 1600, or do you say 16 o'clock? Or what? 16 in the afternoon. Hit the delete key. Oh. 1600. Thank you, Reg. Reg. Don't use local models. It's slow. You can use Grok GPU engine with Llama 3.1. My model isn't all that slow. I think it's like 54 tokens per second. Anywhere between 20 and 54 tokens per second. TBD says, Mr. Moneybags with his showy power-hungry graphics card. I saved for it, okay? It was either get a brand new computer or buy a graphics card. And I got a graphics card. WSL is not required in Olama anymore for Windows. At this point, I prefer WMS. I don't know what WMS is, so hopefully you tell us in a minute. Your name is Caption now. WSL protocol has weird scheduling bugs lately. Something Azure is free. And Captain Chica says, you don't need Azure if you have 15 Raspberry Pis at home. That's what happened to your leg. I said to TBD, hope it heals well. There's my archery attempt. TBD says x-rays and MRI next week to confirm, but doctor suspects not happy. But you have been resting, other than having at minimum Loki jumping on your lap every 2 seconds. Mojo told TBD to hit the delete key on the tear. And hi, Reg. I prefer Balkan time. It's always time, coffee. Time. I can't read that. Time, coffee, and Rakija. Don't know what that is. TBD says to Mojo, I'm trying to figure out how to propose my .NET solution. Hit the delete key. Still stands. I say 16 in local language. Interesting. Same cost. Yeah, exactly. You can either get a whole gaming computer with a decent graphics card or a 4090. Mojo says to TBD, delete key and contract me out. We'll have it done by Monday. Oh, nobody tried archery again to actually hit the target, so I'm going to try again. Correction, always time for coffer and rocky jaw. I still don't know what that means. This one's going to be hard. Shoot. I'll cheat fast so that you can have your turn. We'll go with 40 and 15. 40 and 20. 40 and 18. Nope. Dang, so close. Okay, you're up. And you can use exclamation point shoot, exclamation point pew, or exclamation point shoot. And the first number is the angle that you want to shoot at, and the second number is the magnitude, which you can shoot up to 132 meters per second. 132 meters per second. What is your maximum speed currently? Game settings. 106 meters per second, which is the average flight speed of a laden African swallow. The average flight speed of an arrow shot from an Olympic archer's bow. And the furthest distance this can be is 70 meters, which is the Olympic target distance. Yes, but this one, I said laden. Oops, it's doubling the chat. My bad. I had the debug window open for archery. So you were getting double chat messages. My bag.
I am partly back.
Welcome.
I might have to jump.
Welcome,
everybody.
Is it actually crazy?
It was not as crazy as I thought. We clarified. This is why it's good to have real-time communication. Can have a discussion about remote work, but we're doing this via remote work. But the way to make it work is I have to be pretty responsive to Slack messages.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
Well, I mean there are different types. The open source, there's a lot of open source projects where they're async remote. So like, you got to queue up a bunch of work and you want someone to do a pull request review. And anyway, this is like, hey, Peter, can you do a certain thing? I did it. He said, no, not that. Can you do something else? And that it was all reasonable once I found out he wasn't crazy. That was also a few back and forth. Oh, sorry, I'm a little delayed, but you were being robbed
that was
by the
so
archery
wrong.
game.
I just want to hit the target at a high angle so that we can see if the bonus points is working. I could just shoot straight at the target. That's not gonna give me points. Give me points. Come on. This is why I give you 3 chances. Point 3. Yes, finally. Okay, did we get bonus points?
I'm saying it now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh, good work. Good work. See?
Yes, we got bonus.
Oh, that worked. I mean, that's all well and good, except I'm about to destroy your archery. What else are we talking about? We can talk about anything. You can actually make progress on a project of some kind. Not saying you will.
That would be nice. Have I committed? Whoa. I love that sound. Launching your rocket. Bam. We're going to see what happens when you get 0 bonus points. Because it's not been in the air for longer than 100 milliseconds.
That's right. Dominating
A bonus
the
score of
chart.
41 points. I think something's a little broken with that.
It looks good to me. Looks good to me. Couldn't be better. Couldn't be working better. Good.
How in the world did it get 41 bonus points? When am I starting to work on banking systems? Never. Not with these math skills. Lack of. Did I actually push? Going from EF core workflow to EF6 workflow is strange. My job so far has been learn it in .NET 8 and then regress to framework. I don't know if that's good for EF. This project? Which one of you is current? That's user fix. Did you show the improved part of your file load off today? TBDS Mojo? Excuse me. Whew. Time moves really fast when I'm hanging out with you guys. This is crazy.
I don't have anything. We're at a loss.
I'm pushing my current work that I was doing on the actual project because I really don't want to work on the bot. Like what I really want to do instead is add the Discord bot to my existing bot and not even worry about open sourcing the cleaned up version. Because that's getting nowhere. Although I really do want to keep... did you do anything with your bot?
I kept tweaking it and removing squigglies. We could talk through, I love talking through my work.
Oh, cool.
Forget everyone else's. Perf testing, TBD Gamer. Load testing of the entire system is ideal. I have done tests of part of a system, and of course, if it gets really hard, like in production, with the production size data and production shaped data, you will have different performance, but usually the major problems of like this page takes 100 seconds to load, you can fix with like, okay, TBD, here's a lazy answer. Number 1, SQL Server has, assuming you're using it, has like index, you run it in production, it will tell you what indexes it needs. And then you add those indexes and half your performance problems go away. So that's number 1. SQL Server has stuff to add indexes or to suggest them. TBD is that. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, I mean, honestly, I only think about the database. I've done Kubernetes like scaling, and we have seen one of our CPU heavy background jobs or multiple of them use like as many cores as you give it. I think it uses 2 or 3. And so we actually spin up these ultra heavy 2 or 3 core background services, but we did that after tweaking and finding out it was maxing out. Oh.
Hey guys.
Sword.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much, man.
How is it going?
Good. Sorry to just barge in like that. I took my dog for a walk, and I didn't have the stream up when I logged in. Sorry about that.
Oh no.
Okay. Welcome. Sorry, I'm half distracted by work stuff. So
Well, but you were still.
It's okay, me
You can
too.
definitely finish your thought on performance testing.
yeah, start with SQL indexes. Mojo said Azure also suggests indexes for production if you're using SQL Server specifically. I know Postgres has this kind of stuff where it will recommend stuff. SQL Server also has, if you use SSMS, the best program known to mankind, it has suggestions for if you run a query. It has, what do they show query plan? Show actual query plan? You can run it, and depending on who you are, if you're me, you can run it against production. If you're a dev, you shall not. You shall not. But also, I will say, like, be careful, like, running queries in production. And I'm saying queries because you will possibly overwrite. I'm not overwrite. You will destroy your server while it's spending all its time running your query because you were curious. So, anyway, I'm mostly focused on SQL. I'm not a pro at performance, and yeah, it's always the data storage and like, please stop sending 1,000 queries per page load. Round trips.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the other one. So I think someone mentioned EF Core might show SQL queries that it's executing.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? I'm gonna look at your screen.
Oh, in like if you're running it with console open,
yeah,
it will output your queries and what it translates your linked entities to.
highly recommend. Because here's the point, like you're loading a page and you see like a wall of SQL, 10, 20 pages worth of SQL scroll by, and you say, you know what? Not very precise in this, but it feels like too much is happening. Then you have to tweak something, tweak just whatever that something is, something. All right, sorry, I 1 minute. Eating.
No, man, take your time.
That confused me. So how's it going, Broken Sword?
Good, man. Very good. I am doing very well for the most part. I'm very fortunate to have the jobs that I have and the market to be the way that it is right now. Supposedly the job market's very bad right now. I haven't been impacted, thank goodness. But things are going very well, just being a family man and playing a lot of Magic and doing a lot of programming. And yeah, I got a new electric car. I really, really like electric cars now.
Me too. Me too.
What do you like about it?
What do I like about it?
About the car.
About the car, they're just really fast. So I got like a Kia EV9 GT, and it's just it's exceedingly roomy and spacious inside. It's got really cool lighting effects. It kind of has a really good autopilot, and it's exceedingly smooth and quiet. And I can put the kids all the way in the third row, so they don't bother me, and I don't even have to know they exist. And they have their own like AC vents on top of the ceiling. It's kind of like a minivan, but does not look like a minivan at all. But it has all the properties of a minivan, but it doesn't look like one, so it's cool.
All the benefits.
Yeah. And that's it. I'm building a Blazor app right now for with some contract work on the side, and then I'm still doing a lot of enterprise work for a main company. Things are going very well.
Nice.
So yeah, that's all I've been kind of up to.
Welcome back to the stream. I don't remember when you kind of dropped out, but it's been a while. That is my memory. A while.
Yeah. I often wonder if Nerd Herder still shows up every now and then.
But once in a while.
Oh, he does? That's cool.
Yeah. Like very, very subtle. I mean, he may be around lurking or something. I don't ever check the users list or viewers list.
Or yeah, I see Dukastoff still here. He's been here forever.
Yeah.
You've been here forever as well, live coding. It's kind of cool to see the same people after so long.
Yeah, and I've finally gotten back to streaming my work product. So it's not going to be like side project streams and not real world projects. It's going to be my actual work product. And here is an example of it that is completely revamped and has a billion errors currently. Because I'm changing the way that I'm doing things. It's breaking my brain.
That's awesome.
I want performance testing. We're back. We're back to performance chat.
All right.
Performance chat. I want to say that, of course, there's like, assuming you have issues with like, y'all work in like Windows apps, some of you, and like rendering HTML. What? Anyway, rendering HTML and like that can actually be a massive problem. And especially back in WPF, back in the old days, we had massive problems just with the UI. But I always say for these business apps, we do. We can we can get by without even thinking about like CPU usage. But that's like a crass overgeneralization. But like you honestly. Just don't issue 1,000 queries loading a web page and add indexes to SQL Server, and you're probably going to outperform your team. Like, they're going to be like looking at, unrolling for loops, but it's all useless unless you take care of the big heavy stuff first. Anyway. That's all I had to say. Yes, I'm aware you can load up profile, whatever things, profilers.
Now I don't know what to say.
Because I said everything.
Because you said all of it. You took care of it all.
Yeah. What else do we got?
Thank you all so much for those of you that followed recently. Thank you so much for the follows. I have anonymous follows turned on, which means that I'm not displaying the name of the person, the viewer that followed. But if you do feel like joining in the conversation, feel free to speak up in chat. We also have Discord open. We have Peter and Broken Sword in Discord currently. Community Day. Here's how you can join if you want.
Like, oh my goodness. Mojo just sent a message. What if you replace the authorization attributes? Excuse me. You know what? I'm not going to finish it. I will hang up. See y'all later.
Wait.
No blockers.
Okay. There goes your stand up.
No blockers.
So what I've been doing for fun is at the end of the stream, anyone that joined in the voice channel and anyone in chat, I asked them to do a stand-up. Like what you would normally say during stand-up, except about what you are doing with your normal day instead. Because you probably wouldn't be able to tell us about your actual work product and be like, well, today I am generating new passwords for the servers and naming off servers.
Today. Yeah. Today I'm obviously working, having some fun with a new Blazor project I'm working on, walking the dog. There is a Halloween party tonight that a buddy's having. It's his 40th birthday party.
Ooh.
And then there's also a Magic the Gathering event that is going off at the same time. I'm gonna try to maybe attend both of them if I can. And just getting ready for Halloween, and I've made great progress on that. And no blockers. That's it.
Well, thank you for your stand up, but we weren't ready for it yet. I
Oh,
said at the
sorry.
end of the stream, but that's okay. I
Oh, I'm
really like your
sorry.
stand up. That was perfect though. That was a really good example of how a stand up should go. Um, we
Yeah,
often
I kind
joke
of keep it
about the
short and
way that they
sweet.
actually go.
Yeah, I try to keep it pretty short and sweet. And then what we do is we do something called a parking lot. And then at the end, we talk about our parking lot items.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh
And
my
the people
gosh,
who aren't
yes.
interested in the parking lot items can just
They
leave.
go away. That's how it should be. I like your team. Can I be on?
Yeah, my team is super amazing. Yeah, they're super, super amazing. And they're just really good. And they're really ahead of me in a lot of ways, some of them. And I am just very glad just to be in their atmosphere. Some of these
Super
people.
cool. Super cool. That is really good to hear. TBD is asking the question: is your name from the RPG game?
No.
I like this
My
question.
name, I think I watched um a a kung fu movie. I think it was called Hero, and I just saw the name, and I was like 17 or 18 at the time, and I just really liked it, and just thought it was a cool name or a cool alias, and I just kept it since then. I think it's the movie's called Hero, or no, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I didn't know that
Yeah,
Broken Sword was from in that.
yeah. There's the character in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I think, called Broken Sword. I think I could be completely wrong, but yeah.
It's a lot like the way that you name Liquid Sky TBD. So TBD didn't know that there was I think it's a movie called Liquid Sky. He just thought that it was a cool name for his a code name for his application that he's developing. So he called it that, and people are always asking him. Not always. People have asked him before, "Is your app named after the movie, or does it have anything to do with it?"
Hmm.
And yours is like, is it the game? And I think you said you had never even heard of the game until it showed up one day.
Yeah. So how have things been going with you? How are your projects going? I mean, you don't have to talk
Good.
about personal work.
No,
Or just
I'm
not in general.
doing personal work now. So like I
Yeah.
opened up my project because I was like, I'm not gonna have time. The thing that happened, so I know that you came back here a couple weeks ago or maybe last week, and I told you about getting back with the Rocky Mountain Arsenal and working on those projects again as a individual
Hmm.
contractor this time. And there's this effort that they needed done by this month for they're getting Excel files and CSV files from laboratories with results that are formatted in random ways, and we need to transform it into something that can be put into our database. And they were wanting some kind of utility for doing that. So that's what I've been working on. I haven't been able to get it done, and I feel like I'm failing at it, but that's just a me thing. Um, I'm working to be more accepting of what's actually happening, being more careful about how I'm treating myself over that because it's getting pretty hard, you know.
The contract work?
No, just like the contract work itself is pretty easy. Keeping track of everything I'm doing in this is the application itself, and well, actually, I probably can show it running. Um, but it's just essentially a UI where you provide an Excel file, and you like in code we specify what class we want to map the spreadsheet or CSV to, and then it provides you with here's all of the fields from the imported file, where would you like them to be dumped, and then I had some rules for if you want to dump it to multiple output fields, multiple properties, then tell me how you do that. But now it's like, it doesn't make sense because there's going to be required fields in the class that you're trying to map it to. So if it's a database record, then there are certain fields that are required and you want to be able to do the validation on it. So then I'm switching it to where it shows all of the fields that are available to map to, and then you choose how you want to map values to that field, including transformations, combining fields together, doing maths, all that stuff. And it's gotten unwieldy, and I'm kind of lost in it.
Oh.
The end.
Well, I just wanted to pop in and say, hey, I feel like I'm always just kind of asking questions and never really just hanging out just to hang out. I wanted to stop by for a little bit. But I'm gonna, I guess the rest of my day I'm gonna work on this project a little bit. This Blazor app I'm working on. It's but yeah, and I just wanted to check in and say,
It sounded like you were going to tell us what it's about. I love hearing about projects.
Oh, so basically it's called Sleuth, and it's an application where when people call in to, some companies by state law are required to delete all information if customers request it. This application is basically just a line of business internal application. There's not really many customer aspects to it besides the API that has an endpoint from a portal, but the rest of it is like very internal. It basically just creates cases for people to investigate, and it automates the process of removing all customer information from their databases, from their entire entity. So that's one of them. The other one is basically an API for an enterprise to get loan payoff quotes to pay off cars and vehicles. So let's say you're going to buy a car. Well, this API just speaks with dealerships and says, here's your payoff quote, here's how you do it, and it basically just helps automate the transaction of buying and purchasing vehicles.
Oh, you can actually do the payoff in the app too?
Yes, yep.
Awesome.
Yep, we can do the loans and everything, and the API speaks to the core system of
now,
the bank, which is like
related
like
to the
ancient.
system that got ransomware recently?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Our system is like so ancient that if people tried to hack it, they probably like wouldn't know how, because I swear I'm not even joking, it still uses punch cards.
Nice.
Aspects of it.
What?
I'm not even joking, man.
That's crazy.
So you know how like the nuclear system of the entire United States of America is like on floppy disk and stuff, and the process to do. Oh, okay. Well, I saw a documentary about it. Like, for someone or a U.S. soldier to launch a nuclear missile, they actually need to legitimately put a few floppy disk in, like an actual floppy drive. It's like a 4 or 5 step process. And it's literally the most old rudimentary technology in the world, but it actually is good because when you're operating, yes, when you're operating on that low of a level and you don't have to keep creating these abstractions on top of extractions on top of extractions, which essentially might be what our language is an abstraction. It's really hard to hack, so it's kind of like how some banks operate. I feel like the notion is true. There's like 12 people on the planet writing COBOL that's keeping the entire US economy alive. Or something like that.
I like that.
But yeah, it's fun. Like, I feel like the guy that I'm reporting to, he has me doing some things that are so wrong. They're just absolutely horrible. But then it's okay. I don't mind because I still have other teams that I participate with that are helping me that are just extremely advanced. You know, one side of aspect on one team, they're using literally just IIS on an on-prem server with like the most basic Windows auth you can do. With like, they're not even writing, they're even scared of libraries. They want you to actually put the objects in every single app. Just very like silly stuff, but they're using Blazor and they're using very cutting edge Blazor, and not cutting edge, but they're like, they just love Blazor. But then,
like in the glass half full approach to like...
yeah, which I like it. It's fine because it's easy work and it's just fun, like making an app with CSS and all that. But they're definitely, yeah, they're definitely very behind. Like, they're like 15 years behind, and they literally are 5 days a week full time in office. But somehow, I landed a contract role with that company where I get to work remote. It's just weird. I guess because Blazor is very niche, maybe.
Probably, and they're like, we need someone that knows this stuff, and we want to treat them well, so we don't lose them.
Yeah, maybe. And then, well, I think in their state they couldn't find local people. I'm not sure. I have no idea. It's weird. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's just a college fund for my kids, and I have other teams that are extremely advanced that are doing like literally every cloud. I mean, they're doing Kubernetes. They're like literally doing bleeding edge CI/CD work pipelines. They're just everything they do. They're just basically using all good cloud stuff like managed identity. Just everything is very cloud. Azure Service Bus, message-based architectures. Yeah.
And it's really cool to hear that you get to work with teams that work in these technologies, and you are, it sounds like you are very relied upon for your Blazor knowledge and stuff. Because you just started this stuff like, what, 3 years ago now? 4 years?
Yeah, maybe 3 to 4 years ago.
That's insane. That's so cool.
Maybe. I think I started coding, honestly, this sounds crazy, but I think I started actually writing code when I was 31, and I'm 38 now. Yeah.
That's so cool. I love hearing that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a total
wants to know if
life
they're hiring. How do I do this?
Which one? Which company?
Yours.
I doubt it. I'll let them know. Dude, I actually tried to get them to hire you, One Lion, but they were saying they weren't hiring remote at the time.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember that. That was a while ago.
No, and that wasn't even them. That was a different
company.
That
was a different one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you would do so well here. Like, you would flourish and people would love you. And it's funny because there's actually another contractor out in Colorado. That actually is on our team, on the team I was talking about. That was awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I've been kind of doing multiple gigs. And
TBD was asking about the multiple gigs thing. How do I get multiple gigs?
Is that what he's asking? Oh, sorry.
How do you get this work on the... It was a while ago. How do you get this work on the side? It was when you first brought it up.
So if you just go on Reddit and just look up, you can make your own work. You can make your own work, such as, like, for example, I'll just do my own photography work and stuff like that. But if you just apply, you could pick up contracts. as long as your businesses aren't competing.
Your site had a broken
You know what I'm saying?
JPEG, by the way.
Oh, sorry, I'll fix it.
No, I was
But
just,
yeah,
I
as
didn't know
long
if you
as,
knew. It was cool.
oh no, I
I
haven't
was
checked
showing
it
off your
well.
site a while ago.
So you can pick up contracts as long as they're not a conflict of interest, and as long as you have the bandwidth.
Right.
You know, it's pretty simple. It's no one else's business. But if you're breaking policy, or you're being a full-time employee for two different companies, that's probably not a good idea. You know, which a lot of people do. But yeah, you can pick up contracts. I think the term for it's called overemployed. But
That's what some people call it, but they use it in a negative connotation.
yeah, it's very controversial, and
Like,
I
people
definitely
think
don't
that
think
you shouldn't be allowed to do that because of the potential to work on multiple jobs at the same time and bill everyone for hours that you're working on another job. And it's like,
yeah,
that's
that's definitely
really
not
up
a
to
good
the
idea.
person.
Yeah, I feel that. But
Yeah, all of these videos under your cinematography thing are gone.
I think YouTube might have took them down. I'm not sure. I gotta fix them. I don't
Yeah,
see the
guys,
comment
definitely
where
it was a while ago. Definitely check out
oh
Jeff's photography site. It's really cool. AKA Broken Sword. I love the pictures. I'm still in love with the vibe of your style. It's so good. So good.
yeah, I did it a very
all
long
of them.
time ago.
That's him. That's him.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much been my life now. And it's gave me so much insight. And in all honesty, I know this sounds crazy, but it's probably actually made me a better employee. Working on projects on the side like that. I think because sometimes when you have one foot in two different contexts, you can kind of feel the water and you can gauge like what's good and what's not, who's being wrong, who's being right, what methods work out the best for certain teams.
Carry on. I'm back.
Cool. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely.
Like, for example, if one area, you notice that there's some toxicity going on, but you kind of don't know if it's your fault. Well, if you're doing a side project with another team and everything is going smooth and you're operating kind of the same, then you kind of have an idea that no, it's not you, it's just the atmosphere, you know? So that's kind of how it helps you identify things in a better light, I guess.
A comparison. Like, I'm the same, but these two places are different.
Contrast.
It also gives you a very good idea, like, for example, being involved in like contract work, it gives you a good idea, like, wow, the company I work for is amazing. I definitely am going to be very loyal to them. Or you'd realize, hey, the company I'm working for right now is not a good company, and I should probably commit to something else eventually. Not leave them hanging, obviously. Do what you can do to tidy things up, but it'll give you an idea whether or not you should leave.
Yep. And that's how I ended up back at RMA. It was like I was running into the situation where I was just not agreeing the way that I think I should have been with the way the team was doing things. and then it started to become I'm going one direction and the rest of the team is going another, and I'm like, I want to conform, I want to do it that way, but it just does not feel right and I can't violate myself. So that's how it felt toxic to me. But
Yeah.
I
And then
left.
there's some things that some teams do that are just so much better, such as the way they communicate, the way they talk. And then, you pick up those good things and you learn how to translate it into the place where you actually want to be permanently. You know what I mean? So, in all honesty, I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually been a good thing for me. Like just learning wise, you know. But yeah.
So Snapple has a contrived scenario for you. If the CTO during the interview shows me a PR of my future coworker's code and says, "Look at this crap code. Don't you agree?" Is that a good or a bad place?
CTO during an interview shows me a PR of my future coworker's code. Look at this crap code. Don't you agree? I think
So it's pretty
I
much a
don't really.
manager that's just calling other people's code crap, is what I get from that.
It happened.
I
Wow.
wouldn't either. Oh, geez.
It's their code. Mojo.
I think what I would say, in my dead honest response to that would probably be something like, "It's not that bad. Code can always be better. I mean, but this is what I would probably do if I had the opportunity to refactor." That's exactly what I'd
That's
say.
a really cool response.
There you go.
But I mean, I wouldn't want to work at a place like that if the manager is the one like genuinely saying it and it's not just part of an interview test. And even if it is just him testing you, then I'd be like, it's still not a place that I would want to work.
Yeah, you want earnest interactions. You don't even. They're like, this part is where I call you a jerk as to see how you handle tough situations. You're like, well, I'd rather not. See you later. But yeah, I hear a lot of like, oh, I won't do this in an interview. But like, everyone, we all need to chill. In my opinion, I have not done many interviews, and just. First of all, it's horrible, but like, just chill. Everything's a yellow flag. Nothing's a red flag. You see what I'm saying? Maybe if there's physical violence, that would be a red flag. Physical violence, verbal violence. Well, I don't have to work with you. Hopefully, that would be a pretty red shade of flag for me. But...
That's nearing red, kind of orange. Ow.
He was dissatisfied. Fuel is, and I call him Fuel.
Mm-hmm.
It was their code. It was, but he was dissatisfied with what the team produced.
Yeah, it's still a mindset that I wouldn't want to be around on a team.
Up.
I do it enough to my own code, and I want to stop it, and that would just perpetuate my, man, look at this crap. The thing that I was doing when I first started streaming the work product again, and I was like, what am I doing?
I think for me, the biggest flag of any color is the way he phrased the question. He said, "Isn't this crap?" Like, let me read the original. Look at this crap code. Don't you agree? That is messed up.
Yeah, I mean, interview the interviewer.
Yeah.
I've actually always did pretty well on interviews. I'm not sure why, and I feel like 85% of all the developers I've ever met are a lot better than me. But I think I do well on my interviews because a lot of times people just want someone that they can enjoy being around. I have no idea, actually. I think I just somehow during the interview get them to like me.
Nice.
And I don't really like I don't like say anything to get them to like me, but it's kind of weird. It's like, for example, they'll ask me a question about dependency injection, but so I'll blow the question out the water, but then at the end, I'll be directly honest, like, hey, I've only been using dependency injection for about 2 to 3 years though, and I'm not like a master of dependency injection, but
It's that open
here's the
honesty and candid nature that you have,
yeah.
and that will really get people to be like, okay, I can see that you have integrity. You would still answer as genuinely and honestly as you can. You have an opinion, and then you indicate that there's room for learning. Always, it's awesome.
I feel like
Uh,
there's not that many Blazor jobs out there though. I don't know if they're coming up a lot or not.
I don't know.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but literally the first interview, I didn't even apply. I just got called by a random contractor. The first interview, I ended up getting a job, and it was about Blazor. But I literally went into the interview like, "Hey guys, I think I'm literally the perfect person for this role. I haven't even been applying for roles, but I just saw this role, and I think I'm just a very good candidate for it." Um, and I think a lot of the other people they were interviewing were people that knew of Blazor, and they were considering to adopt it as a tool set, but it wasn't like something they were passionate about. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was the difference.
they're me, in other words, where I'm like, yeah, I'll use it, sure. Which I haven't yet, by the way.
Mojo was
I'm
saying
passionate
Broken Sword
about
is
like
right.
monitoring. Go ahead.
I contribute no code, just good vibes.
Vibes.
Yeah, the vibes. Snubble said, I worked with a guy once. He didn't produce any code, but he was amazing at making hamburgers. That's what's important. Nice.
Hamburgers
Hamburgers.
in office?
Yeah,
Office
was it
hamburgers.
in the office?
Office,
Because that'd be even
amazing.
better.
Must have been pretty amazing.
If you could actually make them in office, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, I make
that's a
hamburgers
skill.
every day.
You microwave them?
No,
You have to use American cheese with
add
hamburgers.
razor component. I don't know why I went to add razor component. Hamburger.
Are we doing
So-
hamburger menu?
Div.
So whenever I create these apps, I'm almost always creating like a service, like a state service that it's not even really a state service, it's just a service that could be dependency injection, like a singleton and all the other components. So you could have component communication, and I just use the events, and I just append state has changed in that event, so it knows when to update, and they keep track of the spinner and stuff like that. I kind of front load the Blazor app by creating like a cascading app state custom component, and then upload that state service with the data that the rest of the app may need preemptively. Do you kind of understand what I'm talking about? Is that kind of like a common pattern that you find yourself using when you create your Blazor apps? Is that a weird question?
I
I wasn't
don't know.
fully following.
Oh, sorry.
No. Say it again. I want to follow.
It's okay. Okay. So I create services. Well, first of all, I create an app. Not an app. I create a cascading app state. Instead of cascading off state component that you normally put in the root of the Blazor app, like in the app.razor, I create like cascading app state.
Okay.
And then I inject services in there. And then when the app first starts, I load data, common data
Okay.
that may be used throughout the app, such as cases, active cases maybe need throughout the app. I'll just go ahead and load those preemptively before even a page is even accessed.
Okay.
And then this data can be accessed or updated within any component. It's just a singleton service that's being updated from this component. Do you kind of do the same pattern, or do you do something different?
The main reason that I don't follow that pattern, I have thought about doing that before, is because of Yagni.
What is Yakni?
You ain't gonna need it. So let's say that a user opens your app or your app starts, and you're getting all of these scope services that are initialized, and the user goes through the entire app or their entire session and never uses some of those services, kind of thing. So you've loaded more things than were going to be used. I need to take a quick screenshot of this. In doing so, you're using more resources than you actually need, is what I'm trying to get at. So instead, what I do is I have a state for each of the it's almost domain-ish. No, I can't even call it domain-ish. It's like related things. Most of the time I have one state for UI that is dependency injected. So I have a UI state that's a scope dependency injected thing that keeps track of whatever things are on a specific page, UI related, show dialog menus, full page loaders, these types of things that need to be shared across multiple components. And that is my UI state that gets passed around everywhere. If it's data that needs to be transferred between components that are not related to each other directly, so there are two components that are side by side in another component or on completely different pages, then I have a state that handles the data that was already loaded for each of those. Lookup lists, for example, that gets its own state, and that will only load the first time you access the lookup lists. That's when it goes and gets all of my values for a lookup list and populates them, and now it's used throughout the rest of the app. So it's kind of like you would do with CSS, where you typically don't load the CSS until you go to a page that uses the CSS, then you preload it and all that stuff.
I see.
But if you can afford the initial load time to get all of your services ready to make the rest of the app run faster, like especially for singletons like you were talking about, then that's not going to be a terrible idea.
Question for the Blazers. Do you have, is there a built-in way to do content caching for Blazor? I know, and assume it renders as a website. I don't care about the Windows parts.
I think it
assuming we're
default.
talking. So how does it cache? Because I've had to fix this a few times at different places, and like,
I don't know.
Apparently, the best way to do it is that the server, like the ASP.NET server, gets a hash of every single file in content, and it adds like an anchor or a query string. Like you'll say load a.jpg, and it will say the user will say a.jpg, and then it'll just be a big I put it in chat, a big like hash. And in theory, that way only the updated files get cache invalidated, and otherwise they don't.
Yeah, I think that is what they're going to now. They recently started doing it more in .NET 8, and it wasn't done as well prior to that. And now in .NET 9, they're doing. They focused on this in .NET 9 from some of the videos that I watched.
And I just wonder, because it's something most of us have to deal with. We either have no caching, or we do it wrong, and we have to do it ourselves, and we have to do the same Google searches. Anyway, we'll have everything. Oh, you got to follow.
Yes,
we'll have everything figured out by the time we have Blazor 2. And I mean Blazor like 2. An entire
framework rework.
Yeah, By the time the new framework's out, it'll be good.
Mhm.
No cash. President not sure. Bank on a Sunday. No cash. Yeah.
There's this new thing called a hybrid cache, apparently, which extends or implements iDistributed cache and iMemory cache. Nope, bridges gaps between them.
Where does it store stuff? Is it meant to
I
be
have
used with
no
Redis?
idea. I've never used this stuff. I've never had to be concerned with it because of like how few users per app.
Yeah.
I just rely on whatever's built in for it to cache the runtime, any images, and yeah, that's where I ran into it the first time was in the HasTrack app, which is a PWA. Whenever I would update the service worker, it wouldn't read the new service worker immediately. It wouldn't even give you the option to update the service worker in DevTools because it didn't see a new file. And then other times the images that I'm using wouldn't get updated if I updated the static file. But I think that's been fixed. We had a workaround, and actually I think it was Nerd Herder, since we were talking about him earlier, that was working on a PWA as well and was having an issue with static files not getting updated when he created or when he replaced one. Like CSS is probably the easiest one. The CSS wouldn't update in a PWA even if he got the new service worker, even if he Control F5'd the app. So he had to put a date timestamp on the CSS load, kind of like the way that you put the hash at the end of a.jpg. And it was just like every time I redeploy the app, I'm going to query for CSS question mark and then the date time of the most recent update. And that's how it cached.
Yeah, that works too. We'll see. We'll see works. Been a quiet, happy day today for y'all. I've been troubleshooting. We fixed it, by the way. Fixed it.
Awesome.
How long have you been at the company you're at?
Almost 7 years. It started as a .NET developer and switched into operations, and I am Azure Cloud Kubernetes stuff.
That's big bucks, man. It's kind of where I
You
want
think
to get.
so?
Probably. I mean, I would think so. Yeah. I don't know. That's pretty advanced stuff and very high in demand. Like, I feel like we have a generation of programmers, and this is including me, and I'm allowed to say this because this is me, that focused too much on coding and not enough on networking. And so it's hard for people to get into Kubernetes and things like that. And so I think it's a very good job and a good talent to have. And I foresee that being probably one of the type of positions that cloud infrastructure is going to be, not cloud infrastructure, but one of the harder positions for AI to kind of replace.
Yeah.
That's
if you're
my-
responsible for the thing, then you may be using AI. Like most of my job is not pressing buttons as fast as I can. Most of it is carefully making decisions. So
you don't
like right now, I'm
program
carefully
like this.
having
Roll your face on your keyboard.
I just saw. I'm that far behind. That is a very funny gesture. Yes,
Because
not
you are
a
not
face
watching
rolling.
in Discord. I have my camera on in Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, but iPhone, whatever color, iPad stuff. Right.
Anyway, look,
Sorry.
I'll just choose to laugh 5 seconds later. So face rolling, but yeah, I think I don't know. I think quality of company matters more than role, and as far as like what you're paid. So I'm not even gonna hint, but
Yeah, you don't
yeah,
have to
I
get
think
into any of that. I was
yeah,
just
and don't assume
stating.
like yeah. I'm just saying like if you work for Google, you're paid well.
Mhm.
What's and if you work for Microsoft, they're actually known to pay well, given that compared to us regional employees, we work for stuff in the region for the most part. But like, I don't know. I think you could be a very paid Azure cloud person who does the same work, but maybe not at the same scale. And maybe, someone might actually notice if your app goes down if you work at Google. uh, so
Might affect a
it's
few more
whatever.
people.
But yeah, I hope it's super uh, easy to find another job. Uh, Fuel says I want AI to replace ops, infrastructure, project management, migrations, integrations, project management, and OKR so I can code. Well,
Notice project management twice. We really, really needed to replace project management.
Yeah, but the problem is like the AI stuff is getting really good at writing code. I feel like
Mhm.
that's one of the first things that's gonna get good at writing. I mean, it's definitely a pilot though. It's not like full blown automation, that's for sure.
Right.
But it's a pilot, and you got to have coders. But it's literally a language object model, like it's or object language model, like it's good at writing language, so probably coding might be one of the first things. I'm not going to say replacing, but one of the first things it's definitely used as a pilot. AI though is a very complex topic because in all honesty, there's hardly anything left for in 2 to 3 years. AI is going to have nothing left to scrape off the internet.
that is
Absolutely
not
nothing.
AI generated.
Yeah, it's gonna have nothing. It's even already, Google has even ran and processed the videos through it. They are running
YouTube.
videos and it's interpreting speech and learning from all the YouTube videos. So it's not even just the internet anymore. It's everything on YouTube. It's literally everything. So everyone thinks it's like the beginning of the end, but we're kind of in 2 years we're kind of already at the end of its maximum power, at least until it starts learning how to train itself. That's when it's the beginning of the end, in my opinion. But right now it's pretty much just um, predictive
It's stable.
chat on steroids, predictive text on steroids. Instead of googling, it's Stack Overflow on steroids, you know. Kind of. That's kind of my opinion on AI at the moment.
Awesome.
You know.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know if that was invited or not to
Oh,
share.
absolutely. Yeah, that's fair
Okay.
game. Fair topic.
It's on topic.
Yeah.
Even
No, and
even
oh,
your
go ahead.
EV. I'm really curious about your EV. Where
Well,
What
like
is
talk about that some more.
I'm just
what is
really, really glad,
EV?
first of all, that you said you were clarifying and letting everyone know this is an opinion, because I do have that disclaimer ish thingy that I put that anything that we say on here is a personal opinion. Take it as a personal opinion. We aren't necessarily the source of truth, even though
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually right about my opinions. I'm kidding. Um, so Peter was saying EV to you, your Kia.
My Kia.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the vehicle. I'm
Oh,
curious.
hey, Deflex, what's
Don't
up, man?
worry.
I'll post some pictures of it maybe in the Discord.
I
But
got
it's
a
badass.
I got
I
a
love it.
Nissan Aria.
That's
That's the
probably an
only
amazing
one.
car. I never heard of that one, unfortunately.
It's pretty nice looking. I like it.
You should Google Kia EV9 and show them.
I will, absolutely. And you said it was the GT.
Yep.
I wanted a sportsback car, but this one was
That's
really,
sweet
really
though.
nice.
I like it. It's fully electric.
Fully electric, 312 miles
Oh,
per
I've
charge.
seen one of those. I love that car, man. I've seen one of those.
It does
So,
really, really good on mountain drives.
so check this out. I was pulling out of like Walmart or something, and it gave me like a cute little flash saying, "Hey, you can go." Like like its headlights. I don't know. It made them flicker somehow, like saying, "Hey, you're fine. You can go now." You know what I'm saying? I've
Yeah.
never seen a car do that to me in my life. Do you know what I'm talking about? Can you do that with that car?
I haven't seen anything like that, but then again, I don't drive very much. Like, I think I'm gonna put at most 2,000 miles on the car this year.
Oh, I'm telling you, check it out. There's like some weird feature, dude, where you can literally signal things to people with your lights. You can like make them flash in a cool way. To like, hey, it's your go. I'm fine. I'm at a stop sign or something. That's kind of what it was like.
What
Oh,
color's
the
your
like I
Kia?
yield.
Mine's white with white interior, pretty much. But yeah, that's exactly what it looks like for the most part. But not that brown interior. I hate that. My wife would have been so mad if I got that.
It.
Yeah, but at night, it just looks really cool because the interior lights up and everything. I just like it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's a very fun vehicle and it's very, very spacious and massive inside.
Got sweet rims.
Yeah, I don't have rims like that. I have the default, like, square looking ones.
I got these. These are the ones that came with it. Those are cool.
Oh, those are also sweet rims, y'all. Well,
So,
Are you doing the let's talk sport? You remember that play where the guy took the ball and put it in the other place?
can we talk battery life?
Yes, for like 2 more minutes, because I do need to go
Okay.
for this. But so like this one is just your regular lithium phosphate battery, and it will degrade, so they recommend only charging up to 80% when you do charge.
Oh yeah,
But
I literally only do 60%. I charge up to 60 and drive it to 40. That's the best way to preserve it. Is just stay in the middle, you know.
Hmm.
But I'm just weird
Preston
like that.
Fisher is joining the sports conversation.
yeah. All right. I will give. Yeah, it's been nice to quote see you, Broken Sword. It's been nice to see you, of sorts. We're both
Yeah.
icons in the top left of the stream, so we see each other. And it's been nice and good to catch up. And with that, no blocker.
Zoom.
He was out quick, man.
Yeah, he does.
I was gonna ask him. I was gonna be like, tell him, hey, I may have some Kubernetes questions in the future. But that is awesome that he does that.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, so you cut the stream at 2:30?
Yeah, because well, I like what I did last week was a lot of fun, and I'm thinking of doing it again. But ending the community day at the normal time, and then continuing, like stopping the stream, taking a break, coming back to the stream, and doing the rest of my workday. But my parents are coming today, so I want to end the stream on time and make sure that everything is put together and do as much of my job as I can before they get here.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and congratulations to your brother getting married. And weddings are a blast, and enjoy them because there's not many of them in our lifetime. And yeah, have a great time with your family.
Thank you.
And no blockers. And I'm out.
Ciao. That was very awesome of you guys. You guys are super nice. So I'm going to try to read through some of these chats while I work on this screen, and say salutations and farewell. Wait, greetings and farewell. But there were just a few more comments that came by that I guess I'm going to read. Maybe my opinions are also facts, says Snubble. Also fact. One of my favorite commercials. Little ow. Anyway, then President Not Sure was joining in with the sport conversation that I started. And then Snubble says, I have a Kubernetes question. Will WASI replace Docker? I think so. I'm just name dropping. I don't know enough about that. Dukasoft is like, please stand while we wait for One Lion's ending speech. Because apparently I'm not doing a stand-up. We did stand-up like early on. Hi, Gabriel. You too. You too. Thank you so much. But my stand-up for today is I'm going to burn through whatever I can. I've been trying to go with the flow with letting the project continue the way that it's continuing and working on the things that happen, but they're going very odd directions and I don't understand it and I'm losing track of it, and I should have had the library finished 3 weeks ago and I'm still working on it. So I'm kind of frustrated and angry, to be honest. Like genuinely angry at myself for not having it done by now. So I'm going to push through that. I'm going to put a lot more concerted effort into getting it done. And yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And then I'm going to receive my parents and hang out with them, have dinner, go to my brother's wedding tomorrow. Probably the reception. He said it's going to be at his Airbnb, and then hang out with my parents the day after, and then back to work on Monday. And we'll be back again on Monday, provided I am not completely burnt out. Plan on having a stream on Monday, but also expect that I may cancel the stream if I am just like burnt out. Yeah. But thanks for being here, Deflux. Saw you come in. Great Broken Sword. Said that his cousin is streaming more than him. And it was like, what, one stream? Or has he been streaming more often? His cousin is Epic Tickle, and I don't know if I'm like following him. Maybe that's what's going on. He's been streaming more often, but I'm not following him. No, I'm following him. Are you streaming work after? Not today, because I'm going to do everything that I can. There's going to be a lot more aggressive behavior from me while I'm working on my code today. And I am not wanting to stream that part of it. And then my parents are going to be here in about 4 hours. So yeah, I just want to be ready. And also, Dukasoft is reminding us no Irish John games today because he needed to cancel for one more day. He says definitely tomorrow, but anything can happen. My man's got a whole TV. This thing? Yeah. TV, monitor, mobile studio. Yeah. Okay. But that's it for now. Back on Monday, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, UTC -6 currently. Shout out for Irish John Games. Definitely check him out. Rise of Piracy. Yar. Ha 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 ha. He gets two loving game name drops. One for the Steam store and one for Microprose. He is being published by Microprose, so check out his game on either page. Two. Okay, but yeah, that's it. Ciao for now. Once again, not reading out because focus. I'm not even going to be lurking on anyone's stream for the rest of the day. I'm just doubling, tripling, quadrupling by now my efforts. Oh, okay. Roggy. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. See you the next time you're around. I'll post the Community Day VOD to, or we'll raid Canny Dev. I'm not really on his channel at the moment. I don't like raiding and running, but I will most likely do that. Any dev. Okay, I'm gonna start the raid timer now that I am lurking. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna head over to Candy Dev. Candy Dev is a Godot game developer working on. He also does bot stuff, right? Godot developer is what I mean to say. I have a blurb for him too, but yeah, it's not on my screen at the moment, and hard for me to find it. That's gonna be it. Enjoy your weekend. Ciao for now. Music. Mike.